Doom Eternal is my favorite FPS game of all time, and Shadow Warrior 3 is one of the only few games that manages to scratch the same type of itch in the balls as that game.
Damn! That's good!
You play as Lo Wang, who's basically just Ninja Deadpool, and the story follows you trying to kill this dragon to save the world.
It's bigger than I remember.
That's what she said.
Now obviously, this game doesn't take itself seriously at all. The cutscenes aren't interruptions, they are much needed breaks since most of the story stuff and talking happens as you play the game. The strength of this story lies in the jokes, and in the badonker set pieces like hell. You start this game on top of a damn dragon, bro. The voice acting is good, but the lip syncing in cutscenes is just awful. But to be honest, here's how much I care about that. So let's talk about what we're really here for, the gameplay. Much like Doom Eternal, Shadow Warrior 3's combat is a fast-paced, nuts-to-butts murder fest. I mean, you know this shit is gonna be good the moment you get your hands on the slick-ass revolver.
Hey, I love 6-shooters. Call me Asian Clint Eastwood, bitch.
And the weapons only get crazier from here on out. As you keep playing, you get access to stuff like dual SMGs, grenade launcher, laser cannon, and more. The best part is, the game makes every tool you have feel important from the beginning to the end. Killing enemies with guns gives health, while using your sword gives ammo. Wanna stop an enemy in his tracks? Use the saw blade and go ham on that bae. The grappling hook can be used to pull yourself towards enemies quickly and also pull different explosive barrels to you. This chains seamlessly with the chi blast that can push away enemies to create much needed separation in crowded situations, and can also send various environmental hazards flying towards them. But the most genius feature of this game, in my opinion, is how it handles finishers. See, when you kill enemies, you charge up the finisher meter, which can go up to 3 bars. Weaker enemies only require 1 bar of finisher to execute them, while stronger ones require more. Now, depending on which enemy you use your finisher on, you get a different type of perk, like these blue goons give you a frost grenade. Your mom gives miniguns. These flying saucers give you a killer drone eye for a short duration. Hell, there's even one that gives you a mini black hole, bruh. So in this way, other than replenishing a good amount of health, the finishers also act as power-ups. This is such a brilliant way to make enemy variety meaningful while also making the player actively think about what they should spend their finisher on. The other part of the combat is the movement, and my god, it's smooth. You have double jumping, wall running, dashing, sliding, and...
Holy snap! Whoa, that was freaking rad! Is that a grappling hook?
Everybody has one now, man. It's almost like mandatory.
Make it, brother. Gotta keep up this competition. I get it.
These fundamentals are helped immensely by the fact that the combat arenas are designed with one main goal: fun. You got different types of explosive barrels all over the place. Wall running and grappling hook points are placed appropriately to be used during fights to make you feel like Spider-Man if he just had enough of everyone's shit. There are giant traps in some places which are also so fun to use, man. This stuff makes my monkey brain happy. The hard difficulty is genuinely the way to go here, because it's not like most other modern games where the only difference is to the damage dealt and taken. Here, the most major effect I found of the difficulty setting was on the enemy aggressiveness. As you progress, Shadow Warrior 3 starts throwing so many goddamn enemies at you, and these dudes act like you stole something from them. Quick switching is essential since it skips reloading and is kind of necessary for you to stand a chance as the different types of enemies keep getting introduced. Weapon upgrades actually feel meaningful, like hell, just like Doom Eternal, you can make the shotgun a no reload, fully automatic bringer of death here as well. By the way, if you're enjoying this video till now, please be sure to like it and subscribe to the channel. We're so close to 10,000 subscribers, man. I really appreciate y'all's support. You always need to be moving using every weapon and ability you have, thinking about when to create distance, when to rush in, finding ways to thin down enemy numbers using the environmental traps, and all of this just flows so smoothly. And you do all this stylish killing to absolute banger Chinese beats. Like, this shit goes so hard unintentionally, bruh. Combat is satisfying with perfectly tuned visual and audio effects that add so much to the game feel. As you get good, you basically start bullying the enemies who used to give you veggies. Much like your relationship with your parents, the game is chaotic as fuck, but unlike that relationship, it's chaotic as fuck in a good way. I think now's a good time to talk about how absolutely beautiful this game is. It's so refreshing and baffling at the same time how clear the image quality used to be in games before unoptimized Engine 5 and DLSS skip optimization were shoved down our throat by lazy devs. Shadow Warrior 3 looks absolutely stunning, man, and the different locations you go to are a spectacle to behold. There is a really good amount of visual variety here, and it's just literal eye candy, bro. On the performance side of things, the only time the game has issues like stuttering is when a new cutscene starts, which is very annoying, but other than that, Shadow Warrior 3 is very well optimized. No matter how chaotically insane the fights get during gameplay with all the shit tons of enemies, gore, and fantastic special effects, the game still runs really well. But it's not all just shooty shoot, because frankly, that would get tiresome really quick. So between all the... you also have platforming. These sections really help with the pacing and require you to learn and use all the movement abilities I mentioned before. The only real problem with the platforming is that the grabbing and climbing can be inconsistent.
Nope.
But other than that, it is fun and actually requires a bit of skill. Sometimes the game will even throw in a few enemies in your path to shoot as you parkour. Not to mention that the set pieces can be really awesome in these moments. Exploration is fairly important since, other than completing challenges, it's the only way to find upgrade points for Lo Wang and his weapons. The platforming and exploration provides some much needed breathing room between all the chaos. Now the combat isn't perfect either, by the way, and I do have some big juicy issues with it. Some combat encounters just last way too long, man. There were many times I felt like a combat section was over only for the game to spawn the same enemy type again for the 5th time. Finding a balance is one of the most important things to do when making overstimulating ass games like these, and Shadow Warrior 3 does mess that up at times by dragging certain combat encounters, which is really annoying and tiresome. Not to mention that if you fail, you have to start the combat encounter from the beginning again. There was only one bug during my entire playthrough of this game, which is this one where I fell off the map and the game kept respawning me out of bounds, so I kept falling until I died, and guess what? Had to start the entire fight again. Some enemy types are here for no other reason than to just be annoying. For example, these suicide bombers who make your ears bleed out, and these diggers which randomly deal bullshit damage out of nowhere. I hate diggers. But my biggest problem with this game is the severe lack/shortage of boss fights. Most of the big enemies you fight just show up as regular enemies later on, so there are only 2 real boss fights in this game. First is this one with an ancient cock, and the second one is the final boss fight. That's literally it. It's like the devs went so above and beyond in copying Doom Eternal that they even copied the worst thing about that game. It's a shame because this huge cockfight had multiple distinct phases and was actually good and a lot of fun. The game really would have been much better with more boss fights. Now Shadow Warrior 3 is kind of a short game, clocking in at around only 6 hours, but thankfully it is very replayable because of New Game Plus and also because the arena mode that was added post-launch. Here you have 3 maps where you get to choose between a few weapons and then fight waves and waves of enemies, which is obviously fun because of the core gameplay. Now at this point, some of you must be wondering, hey Tank, You mostly only had positive things to say about this game, so then why does it have mixed reviews on Steam? Well, let me explain. The devs of this series basically looked at what they did in Shadow Warrior 2 with the whole looter shooter mechanics, going back to locations from a hub world and all that sort of shit, and said, fuck this, we're gonna copy It Takes Homework instead. This didn't sit well with the fans of the series, who came into Shadow Warrior 3 expecting an evolution of 2, but got a straightforward Doom clone instead, and yeah, you can't really blame them, man. I did play Shadow Warrior 2 back in the day as well, and I did like it, but hey, as a die-hard fan of Doom Eternal, I see this game as an absolute win.
Rest in pieces, my son.
Thanks to everyone who watched this video till the end. Here's another video that you will enjoy, so be sure to check it out as well. As always, subscribe and I'll see you next time.